So everyone, we have Lokesh here, as you can see on screen. And very recently, probably within this week only, he scored a 760 with a full score in quant. And genuinely verbal 41 and quant 51 particularly, reaching the 99th percentile, keeping the tradition of 99th percentile score alive. Hey, hi. Can you hear me
Hi, sir.
very well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, Lokesh. So first of all, congratulations and thank you for making time for this. I would not really take a lot of your time. Just let us know what worked for you, number one. Number two, ideally, I mean, maybe it was a prolonged preparation for you, but maybe you did not study in the middle. Probably I was told even January live batch or something. So maybe
Correct,
it
sir.
wasn't that much time required. Maybe it was, I don't know. So what was your journey like? Can you just take us through the entire journey in brief?
Sure. So firstly, thanks a lot for having me here. Yes, like you mentioned, I actually started in the January batch, and my live sessions kind of concluded somewhere around the end of March or the mid of March. And I actually wanted to, make sure that I was fully prepared and in the best shape going forward, so that I could perform at the best. That's why I thought I'll just take a little more time than your usual suggestion of maybe 45 to 50 days after the
Right.
classes conclude, right? So that's my specific reason for slightly having a prolonged self-study period.
But were you
And
consistent throughout or were you not? Because it generally doesn't take that long if you're consistent. So just asking out of
yes,
curiosity.
I was consistent. I consistently dedicated close to somewhere around 28 to 30 hours a week in my self-prep time, splitting it roughly 3 hours every weekday because I was working as well, and 6 hours each over the weekend. And I also made sure that I solved a lot of questions.
Yeah,
I
towards
roughly
the end.
covered, yes, I mean, during my self-study period. So yeah, because of a combination of these two things, my journey was slightly longer than the average period.
No, but it's eventually a 99th percentile and a full score in quant. So it's very well worth. Just
Right,
take us from the beginning when the classes were going on. At that time, were you able
right.
to study about 3 hours every day? What were your biggest challenges while the classes were on? And once the classes ended, because that's the phase these people, this particular batch is going to end in some time. So they'll enter the phase of self preparation. So we'll elaborately
Right.
talk about that as well. So were you
Sure.
able to keep pace with the classes and the pre-work? And then later on, what was the thing that you did? Just let us know.
Yes, sure. So actually, I was able to keep pace with the pre-work because I consistently prioritized GMAT over other things for the duration of the particular course. So as a
Right.
result of doing that, I was able to fairly keep pace. Uh, just the sentence correction bit was slightly tricky because I had to, go through the live sessions as well as the prep material that you had given more than once, which took a lot more time than the usual period it would take for any other part of the syllabus, right? So because of that, that alone was a bit of challenge, but I accommodated / allocated some more time for it during my self prep period as well, so that I could adequately cover that and be fairly confident. And I would also like to, attribute a lot of this score to your course content specifically and your mode of teaching, because while I started out, I was pretty good in quant and maybe critical reasoning, but I had to improve considerably in sentence correction and RC, for which both your methods of Octave and Prime
Right.
were quite useful for that.
Right. Just tell us about the challenge you faced with RC and how Octave actually helped. SC, you've told anyway, you struggled a little more with because, as you said, you had to do
Right,
it more than once. So I'll come to
right.
SC, but what was the challenge with reading comprehension?
So the thing is, I was getting a little confused with the primary purpose questions specifically, because once again, the inference part was fairly okay. I could reasonably deduce from the passages and get to the answers.
Right.
But the primary purpose was fairly
Mm.
challenging and confusing at times. But once I, read through your PDF, luckily that was the first or second week for me. So I started seeing mark change right after that. I was able to actually use more of logic and a method rather than just relying on my own intuition to try and eliminate choices. So in that way, I think my RC really helped. Improved, and because of that, and because of the fact that I was able to, identify the key areas where I could find the answers using your method of a contradiction, opinion, and
Right. Yeah.
identifying the tone and everything. The overall, time it takes to solve a particular passage uh, shortened as well.
Okay.
So
Okay. Great.
because of that, even the longer passages wouldn't seem that intimidating or very difficult.
Okay. Take us through sentence correction. What were specific challenges? What is just revision that in the first go it didn't click, or was it some real challenge? I mean, apart from revision.
Right. So I had actually lost touch with English, to be honest. Although I speak a lot and all that in professional setting and all of that, I hadn't like particularly studied American English as such. So understanding the different things that make the basics of American English was a little bit of a challenge to me because of the sheer volume, I would say. So because of that, I decided that I'll allocate some more time to it so that I'll get a little bit comfortable. And also, what really helped was your the 100 questions right at the
Right.
start
Right.
and your three video lectures, which really, through which I was able to write down a list of important things so that I can keep revising that as I move forward with my prep. So even till the last day, I kept, fairly in touch revising that, which
Right. Right.
really helped me ease the pressure and improve my accuracy tremendously.
All right. And when you entered the practice phase, as you said, that was a longer portion for you, and you continuously did. You were
Right.
consistent also. So, did you really
Right.
have this idea that you would finish all the content, even the portal and the extra stuff that we gave, 700 to 800 challenge? Like, was it like on your mind that everything, or you, as you went along, because you were not improving to the extent, you decided, let me do more?
So actually, I had improved fairly well. Within like 1 month of my self prep time, I was fairly there. But I thought that since there is, I realized that I have some time. Like I don't have to rush through my attempt immediately.
Right.
So I thought I'll keep answering the questions and try to internalize the thought process and gain
Right.
more and more confidence by solving as much as possible. Through the process, I completed all the 700 to 800 questions. The last minute verbal review questions were
Yeah. Yeah.
also done.
Yeah.
All your quant marks from the portal was also fairly complete, and in the process I was able to solve a lot of questions, so
Right.
I think that really helped me. And I also took all the 6 marks available in the
Official.
MBA ES official website as
Right.
well. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So,
No,
okay,
no.
on the test day, which order did you choose? And then was there anything unusual? Were there any nerves? Because sometimes you prepared a lot, but 5-10 minutes, you're just anxious, or there's some nerves. So just want to know the exam scenario. What is the order you chose first?
Right. So the order I chose was quant, verbal, and after that
Yeah,
the IR
AW.
and the AWA section.
Right.
I chose that. I was very clear on that right from the start. Quant was my strong topic. So I wanted to ace the quant on the exam day and take that confidence into the verbal and try to
Right.
do well in that as well. So that was my order from the word go.
Right.
There was no confusion or any debate about that. Although I did face a quite challenging test experience. So I took the online version of GMAT, right?
Right.
And the first, so the first time I was supposed to take it, there was a maintenance issue and the website didn't load the exam for me. So I had to like reschedule it to another day and all that. Luckily, because I experienced all the emotions on the first day, taking it on the revised day was a blessing in disguise. I could like take it comfortably and very confidently.
All right. And anything unusual in terms of question set or anything that you had not seen before? Did you face anything like that?
Right. So it was a little bit interesting because on the question, on the exam day, I had 4 RC passages and there were no primary purpose questions at all. And most of the questions were focused towards inference type questions. So I think, although not a big surprise, but it was slightly different to see the change that way. And other than that, I think sentence correction was fairly decent. I was fairly confident on the questions that came.
Right.
And also with critical reasoning, wasn't a lot different. But even in critical reasoning, most of the questions were towards identifying what the underlying assumption was.
Assumption.
Like, yes, some 30% to 33% of the critical reasoning questions, which is roughly 3 to 4 questions, were about the assumption.
All right. And when you said inference was more, but you were anyway better off at inference from the very beginning in RC. So it would have been a surprise, but not that you couldn't do it, right? Just a
no, I was actually pleasantly surprised that it played out to my strength some way. Yeah.
And nothing unusual in quant anyway, because anyway, it was a strength, but I'm just asking, did you see something that you had not studied, but you suddenly saw a new problem type?
Not that I can remember of, but I did feel that the last set of questions, which were somewhere around the 25th to 29th, involved a lot of mechanical work and, had to be, I felt that you had to be very sharp in order to complete that within 2 minutes. Luckily, I had a lot of time left during when I reached that stage.
It happens, so I was because when you get a lot of right answers towards the end, the exam has seen that complicating through traps is also done now. This person is now unfazed. So how does it complicate? Right. It complicates by way of calculating or making you calculate more. So that's, but all in all, I think great, it worked out. And what's the plan? Where are you applying now? I mean, what's the overall?
I'm in the middle of my research about colleges and all that. So I think I'll take another week or 2. And then
it's still M7, one of the M7s would be your target at least?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
That. And did you happen to watch Know the World videos in between, or did you not watch them? And
I actually started them. I was able to only watch 2 out of the 10 videos because towards the end, I had to choose between Know the World and
I understand that
questions. So I had to go with the questions.
But you do finish them, make sure before you apply, do finish them because they'll give you a lot of perspective.
Definitely.
All right. Absolutely perfect, Lokesh. And if there is some piece of advice you will give people that you should never do this or you should do this, what would those a pulse of wisdom, so to say, be? A couple of things must not do and must do, please.
I think must do is something that you also touched upon earlier. We have to be very consistent, right? Because on any given day, I think as we keep practicing and all that, we'll reach a score band. If we have a good day and we are in practice, we'll be able to reach the highest end of our spectrum. And if you're out of sync and lack that practice and prep ready energy that we must have, will score towards the lower end of the spectrum. Right. So I think that way it's very important for us to be in sync and consistent with the prep. That is my single piece of advice.
Anything else you can think about must do, must not do, or nothing really?
I think nothing beyond that. I would definitely say do a lot of mock tests and everything so that you don't really feel the nervous. And I mean, you have that bit of nervous energy, but you are able to keep it under control and focus on the question rather than worrying about the result and what is going to happen and all that. So
Right,
I
right.
think one way to mitigate that would be to, practice a lot of mock
Mhm.
tests and keep yourself, exam ready.
Right, right. All right, Lokesh, all the very best and do keep in touch. Just let us know about your results and fantastic achievement. And
Thanks a lot,
one
sir.
one part of the journey is complete, and then I'm sure a great result is awaiting you very soon.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a
All
lot, sir.
right, fine.
Thanks for having me here as well.
Right,
I really enjoyed studying under you. Thank you.
right. Bye bye. Bye,
Yeah.
Lokesh. Yeah.
Bye, sir. Yeah.